You've landed at the 13 Moons Women's Temple podcast with your hosts, Sam and Leela.
Hey.
Hey, there you are.
Sorry, I didn't refresh. I was waiting for you and I didn't refresh my thing.
That's okay. I figured I'll just keep talking about something.
I was like, oh, why can't I see her? She must be there now. Yeah. Oh, that's nice. Is it too noisy? Can you hear all that noise?
Okay. I can't hear anything. It does.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought we would do a little meditation to start.
Magic.
Would that be nice? And I thought we'd actually do a little meditation, which seems perfect, having just been talking about this week, called a meditation for change, which is really what the winds are bringing this week. Well, not winds, hopefully, but a bit of sun and a bit of shift, but it's quite nice. I'll just read what it says. It's not that long. It just says, the law of the universe is change. Everything changes. However, the ego will not let you change easily. You change, but your ego does not let you see your own maturity or potential. It blocks communication. This creates a condition of constant hassle in the mind. The difference between your reality and your perception of it through the ego creates doubts, and doubts create misery. Doubts steal 3 feet of your auric radiance. So important. To come out of the darkness, you must assess yourself, ultimately to be happy through all change and have the full radiance of your soul. There must be surrender of yourself to your higher self. To aid the process of self-evaluation and to probe the ego to change and unblock subconscious communication, practice this meditation, which I think is rather perfect coming up to the equinox this week, and obviously everything else that we're going to talk about in a moment. It's really simple. All you do is you make fists with your hands, and then your Saturn finger, so I'll just check it is the Saturn one, yeah. Your Saturn finger, so your middle finger, sort of middle part of the knuckle is going to touch. It doesn't need to stick out like that though. Keep them all together, but it should stick out, yes. And then the pads of your thumbs touch, yeah. And then you just bring that down. So the only fingers that are touching are those pointy bit out of the knuckle of the, or that middle knuckle of the Saturn finger and the pads of the thumb. And then you just hold this position and feel the energy across the thumbs and the knuckles. So just close your eyes for a moment. We'll just be here for a few minutes. And all I want you to do is slow the breath down. So you're going to inhale very slowly, allowing the breath to come into the belly, into the ribs, into the back, and exhale the breath even slower, out through the back, through the ribs. Draw the belly gently in, don't force anything. Pause slightly on the exhale, and just gently inhale again. Slow everything down and feel the sensations of the knuckle and the thumbs. Two more slow breaths. Well done. Inhale very deeply. Suspend the breath in the stillness. Just feel the sensation of the finger, of the thumb. And gently exhale, relax the mudra, be still for a moment. Take a gentle breath in. There we go. So all you have to do is do that for 31 minutes a day. That's it.
Oh, is that all?
But I think 3 minutes is, I mean, we didn't even do 3 minutes. Well, maybe in total, just about 3 minutes. But it's just, I don't know, these things, even just to just slow everything down for a moment and just be present with the subtle sensations of the body is what we need, just to remember that inside of us everything is okay. The outside might be, but inside same.
Yeah,
Just
that's very powerful.
different wallpaper, that's all.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, anyways, that was nice.
Thank you.
So this week,
Yes, well, we are on the path to the Spring Equinox portal, and the undertone and the essence to this week, and I think also to because we've got such great weather where we live, it's really, it's about spring cleaning and clearing, and cleaning your house, clearing the body, clearing the mind, just tossing out the old, surrendering that you just don't need anymore, to make way for the new, which is coming at the end of this week. So I guess to start, if your moon is in Cancer, in Leo, or Virgo, you will be having a moon return this week, which is lovely. And if you are on our mailing list, you will have received in your email our little gift to you, our spring gratitude gift, which is our full, complete spring equinox cleanse, which includes daily meal plan, recipes for breakfast, lunch, dinner, rituals, I think a spring tarot spread. So it's a beautiful, very, very awesome resource for you to start with, to get into your own personal spring cleanse. So, and if you're not on our mailing list currently, for the next day or two, it's just available for you to download on our website. So you can just go to our website and download it. And I think that will come down on Wednesday. So please go ahead and make the most of that. It's really wonderful.
So good. And it's really nice because we've started this week with the moon. So here we are on Monday, a moon day, and we're in Cancer. It's just a nice sort of like, it's kind of, I mean, it's a bit emotional maybe, but it's kind of also quite nice and family orientated, home orientated, which is really perfect for this energy of this final sort of journey that we're heading through of Virgo, just to finish that clearing and that sense of how our homes are and what it is that's occurring within our homes and how that feels for us, especially on a moon day, because really it's our home that helps to call it, hopefully it's your home that is your safe place, and your home in which you can actually go back and retreat to and just feel that your nervous system has that opportunity to calm down. So that's why we want to spend the time doing rituals and cleansing and cleaning it, which is what it says in the cleanse. Today's we're right there in the energy for that, which is nice.
And if you're, if you're in a share house situation, or your home is not that, that perhaps it's your bedroom, or that you have a space that, you know, a corner of the garden that, you know, that you can tend to, and to offer that energy of, you know, this is where I go to, where I know that my spirit can be aligned with nature, or can be aligned. So yeah.
Yeah, it's a nice beginning to the week, I think. Yeah, and actually it really ties in very nicely with that Cancer energy and this home energy, of that feeling of gratitude, and that sense of, yeah, what can I, well, even clearing out, you know, sometimes when we're clearing out, there are certain things that we find. I know for me, I don't know if up on the mountain, but if we find something that's in the house that we don't want, but we think other people might want, we just put it outside the gate and someone just comes and gets
Takes
it.
it.
I always feel like magic. And it's someone, you know, it's always like, you know, it's like someone finds it and sees it as a treasure. And I think, you know, we have trash and at the recycling place too, but it's just nice to put it just outside the gate and just know that someone has, I don't know, it always just makes me feel very happy when that happens. And sometimes people sort of, I don't know, leave notes. It's really nice. So I just think it's that kind of opportunity when you clean out. We can feel bad about, yes, of course, if we have been extravagant in our choices and realize that we have excess, it's hard sometimes to justify just dumping lots of stuff. But I think there isn't a good opportunity for giving and sharing that stuff around in our neighborhood. You know, clothes with your friends and things like that works very well. So yeah. So that occasion.
Yes. Yeah, it is. It's like, yeah, it's like finding treasure. Sometimes you drive past and it's like, oh, yes, I could use that.
Yeah, and I think that's just wonderful. So yeah, so anyway, so just remember that there are opportunities in every moment to practice that giving back, and feel gratitude for your abundance and the way that that's going to make someone else feel abundant. And that's kind of a really nice energy to begin this week with, hey?
Well, it is exactly where the moon is at in its cycle. So if you're tracking the moon cycle, um, post full moon, last week we go through the analyzing, tidying up the finances, tidying up your affairs. This week is very much kind of on point from today, is where we go into, we've manifested, we've worked, we've realized, we've done the numbers, and now we get to rest in the gratitude for all that you have this moon cycle. And this energy lasts all throughout this week, right up until Friday, where we can really be in that recognition of all that you have. And even if you are spring cleaning and getting rid of a lot of stuff, be in the gratitude of how that those belongings have served you up until now, and it is time for them to be moved on, and move them on consciously, you know, rather than just tossing everything into the trailer and taking it to the tip. Like, actually spend the time to be like, in gratitude for your belongings, because at some point they meant something. And that's a really beautiful way to be, I guess, approaching spring cleaning in this phase of the moon cycle, because it is about what can you give back in the recognition of the abundance that you have already, and recognizing that, whilst you like recognizing where you are abundant, because we all have it. We all have a, a place in our life or in our lifestyle or wherever it is. Maybe you're abundant with time, maybe you have an abundance of money, maybe you have an abundance of stuff. So you're abundant somewhere, and be in gratitude for that this week, and then, you know, work towards moving that on. So, and if there is any way you can be in service to somebody else because of, you know, the nature of your abundance, do that this week. Yeah,
that's lovely. And then tomorrow's Tuesday, and that's a Mars day, and we stay in that Cancer energy tomorrow. So yes, obviously that's going to be really challenging because I'm Cancer and I always forget that Tuesday's a Mars day. So I don't know what that's about, but I just don't know if Cancer and Mars are particularly well matched. I'm imagining not, to be honest, because it never seems to work for me. But there we go.
No,
Do
it's fire and it's fire and water. Just
yeah,
doesn't go well at all.
if you're like, yeah, do your best to try and achieve things, and then don't get too shirty if it doesn't actually happen, and maybe just gently do it. So you don't want to, throw too much water on. So yeah, don't throw too much water on the flames tomorrow, and in the same, don't getting too hot. But I think generally there's lots that we can be doing on a Mars day this week. So let's just use the Mars day to continue.
It's a prime spring cleaning day. It is a day where you really want to go, right, I've got to get in under the staircase because I haven't for 5 years, 10 years. Tomorrow's the day to get that. Interestingly, I'm actually helping someone move house tomorrow. So that is an excellent Mars day activity.
That's that's good. Yeah, brilliant. So I think that's good. And then Wednesday, the moon moves into Leo, and Wednesday's a Mercury day. I think it's important to point out at this stage that reminder that we are still in Mercury retrograde. So we are talking about doing a bit this week. So just to reiterate, nothing has changed from last week. We shouldn't be doing big things like maybe moving house, but
sometimes it's unavoidable, but we're not projecting. Like we can be, and this is really cool because you can be involved in the doing, but it's in an introspective way. We've got modern lives. We're all doing something. It would be so nice if we could just go into our retrograde cave, but it's not about, we're not projecting onto anyone anything. And so and there's 6 planets in retrograde still, and that's going to last until we go into early October. So we're still in this really profound, powerful place of reflection, reassessment.
And I think it's important to note with Wednesday that so Mercury is retrograde. Wednesday is a Mercury day. The moon is in Leo. Now, the thing to remember is that Mercury is currently retrograding in Libra. That's going to shift towards the end of the week, but it's still in Libra. So therefore, we need to be aware of our conversations around relationships. So just stay aware of that. Just be aware of any, just be careful what you're texting. Try and speak face to face. And because it's Leo, there can be that little bit of, amplification and exuberance. And so where you might be feeling very exuberant, someone might receive that. If they're feeling a little bit more reflective than you, they might receive it the wrong way. So just be aware. I think on Wednesday would be good. How that not completely tie in with the fact that we're in a Mercury retrograde. So just be aware that things might not go to plan, especially in terms of emails. And then Thursday, the moon's still in Leo, and that's a Jupiter day. So that's wonderful.
Yeah, that's magic. Sorry, I lost you there for a second, but yeah. It's all good.
I pause because I'm like, are you there? Because it's gone very fuzzy. Hopefully it's all right.
Yeah. Oh, you're clear for me now. But yeah, so the moon in Leo on Thursday. We also, we want to bear in mind that we're working towards the equinox on Friday. Things will become amplified, magnified. Leo energy is beautiful. It might be a day where you really want to, put on a dress and go out dancing. And that's a really wonderful thing to do in retrograde season, is to just throw it all off and go out and have a really good time. If you've got kids at home on school holidays, a lot of this stuff is probably just going to fly right past you because there's just so much going on in the busyness of parenting. But Thursday is a really wonderful day where you can just go out and enjoy life, enjoy your children, playing and being loud and potentially obnoxious and all of that and just enjoy in that, you know, the luxury of life. And if the weather is nice as well, then that's going to be a blessing. But we're really being invited to just continue to reflect on what's massive in your life. What are you loving? Where do you want your energy to go? Where are you really ready to change? And you don't have to do anything with this. It's just about calling that into the forefront of your being, going, yeah, this is, I really want more of this, or I really want less of this. So
yeah, and I was going to say, and also because we have a day off here in Australia on Thursday, so it really is a beautiful, expansive day. It's a bonus day, so that's a really nice thing to be celebrating. And actually, it's a really good opportunity to celebrate that and feel that expansiveness and notice where you're at and what's going on in your family before we come to the equinox. So actually, it's kind of it feels like, yes, we're leading towards the party of the equinox, the spring equinox. It's a big party. It's an opportunity to celebrate the shift of season and the movement into a more fertile, abundant time. And so yes, Thursday is perfectly primed to support us in that. And then we hit Friday.
Yeah, now there's a lot that's occurring in the cosmos. It's pretty magnificent, I think. So the spring equinox is where we are tilting, and the season shifts in, you know, in Kundalini yoga. We really recognize this as a portal where, you know, you can really use it to accelerate your spiritual development. You can utilize this time, this equinox, to get a lot of energy, to really work with and harness the magnificence of the relationship of the planets to the sunlight. And it is really quite massive for your spiritual development if you're on a spiritual journey. And so that's worth celebrating in itself. On Friday, what also occurs is the sun shifts into Libra. So the sun has been in Virgo, and so on this day as well, the sun shifts into Libra. And when you have two major kind of cosmic events that happen on the same day, it just tends to amplify the magnificence of what the occasion is. And so that's really beautiful. And we'll go into what the energy of Libra and the sun in Libra means. But there's another aspect that's also occurring, which is called a cazimi. So there's a Mercury cazimi, and a cazimi happens when a planet is at the same degrees as the sun. And so both the sun and Mercury are at 0 degrees, and that creates a very special, a very magnificent, again, amplification of the energy of the sun and the planet within which it's occurring. So the sun will be in Libra, Mercury will be in Virgo, and with all of this happening on the equinox, you just kind of have to go, there is something very magical here for you.
So it means that on Friday, on the equinox, we can really expect to receive some clarifying downloads, some insights, or perhaps it is that we start to be able to fully see what it is that we have been feeling, sensing, having an understanding that we want to have coming. And it's going to be a wonderfully fertile day for us to plant seeds. And so although we are not quite in the new moon energy, this equinox energy, and this particular, with all the other aspects that are there, affords us an opportunity to really set those intentions and work on our prosperity practice and our visualizations for the future that we're moving towards. So it's a great day. And here in Sanford, we'll be gathering by a fire and dancing and bringing all of that in. So it's going to be really magical.
Yes, yeah, and gathering together and meditating, praying, or dancing, or singing, whatever you're doing in a collective of people, just is the essence of an equinox. It's about gathering in community and planting these seeds so that yes, you will be prosperous in your individuality, but how is that going to benefit your community? And this is where there's just so it's really, really cool. And it's a really exciting opportunity that we have this capacity as individual women to affect really wonderful, what will change, but maybe not too much needs to change. Maybe we just need to be in there just supporting our communities to thrive. They're already there, they're already good. They just need a little bit of loving care and tenderness. And what's magic about this Cazimi is that it's being referred to as the heart of the sun. And so it is about that unconditional love, that heart, that that radiating sunlight coming from the heart space. Like that is what makes gardens thrive. So we can really draw on this for how it is that we're wanting to support our families, our communities, and then perhaps the planet, but just your community is enough.
And it's really important as well to note that if you are not gathering with other people, or if it isn't possible for you, just to sit and gather with your ancestors, gather with your spirits, gather with your guides, and call them in. And one of the things that I think is so important, and Leela mentioned this, is we generally do not need to create change. One of the things that most of us need to do is allow ourselves to become the observer of what already is. And it's in that true gratitude comes and an understanding of true abundance comes. And so it is actually just noticing, am I complaining a lot? This is a really good weekend to do this. Am I complaining a lot? And what am I complaining about? And actually, could I in fact practice being positive about the situations that are occurring in my life? So from a meditative point of view, this shift into a positive focus can be really powerful, as can that of using mantra. And then ultimately, we want to become the observer of all that actually is. And so if you do find yourself on your own, find the blessings for you being on your own, and call in your ancestors, your guides, your spirit, see what comes to you, or just sit and feel the space around you. And if you are together gathering, then feel it fully and deeply. I don't think we make enough time for that, really. And that will serve us really well going into the weekend, actually, because one of the things you can talk about the shift, but we are shifting. What's important to note is, as I was saying, Mercury's retrograde, and it's been retrograding through Libra, but actually there is a shift, and Mercury's going kind of backwards into Virgo. It's creating a couple of things over this weekend, which means we just want to have a little bit more awareness over the weekend before we come into the new moon on Monday, on the dark of the moon as well.
So Saturday, it might be a spiritual hangover day after the partying late into the night on Friday, but no, I'm joking. I think that Saturday you might just wake up feeling very full and very abundant and hopeful and prosperous, and that's wonderful. It's a really important day to not go out running around trying to do anything. So we move into the dark of the moon. The dark of the moon is right before the moon goes into its new phase, and it's where you have 100% full permission to turn off your phone, to disconnect from anything, to close your computer, to put down your work, and to just be with yourself. These are the 2 days in the moon cycle where you get the permission to be with yourself, and you can tell your boss we said that.
Well, yeah, no, you can't tell. We'll have to tell each other when we're holding space. Saturday. I was thinking it's really nice because we actually have a 13 Moons gathering on Saturday, and some of you on here will be thinking, well, hang on a minute, you're making us traipse into the city, and but we're actually doing a Reiki attunement, so we're dropping into a very deep, reflective, meditative state on Saturday, it's actually really perfect. So the energy will afford us. So if you are a healer, if you practice the healing arts, then yeah, I think Saturday is a really good day to work on these energies and to drop deep into the stillness of that quietness, and that neutral mind is what we want to be working on. So as much as we can over the weekend, just feel into, can I sit in my neutral mind? Can I practice this path of non-duality? And that's going to serve us incredibly well, I think, as we come into Monday.
Yeah, and it will be a really beautiful. So Sundays are real. If you're coming to the training on Saturday, you get Sunday off. But it's not work. The thing about this is that gathering in women in this, it's a very highly spiritually charged weekend. It's a deeply psychic space. It's a very cosmic environment, and so you want to put space around yourself for that. You don't want to be committed to having to be somewhere that you don't particularly want to be, because there's going to be so much magnificent energy. You want to be able to rest or lean into that, however that's going to look for you. And if you are lucky enough to be on the training with us this weekend, I think Saturday is just going to be, we always really try to avoid to not program anything on the dark of the moon, because for us as teachers, we get very exhausted working in that environment. But I think this is one of those moments where it can be excused, because I think that in this spring equinox prosperity new season, where we're being catapulted into the second half of the astrological year, where in the southern hemisphere it's where we go into summer, and it is a very cosmically spiritual time. So I'm quite looking forward to that. But you do really want to make sure that you can have some time to take a nap if you need to take a nap, to have a bath if you want to have a bath, have an outdoor shower, go to the waterfalls if you can, or just do something, go to the beach. Your soul and how it's yearning to be just in harmony with nature.
That's beautiful. I think that sums up the energy of you moving into this equinox, and especially moving into beginning of next week and the new moon. It is really all about balance. It's observing the gentle shifts and how that affects us, how it affects all things in our lives. So just for the weekend, just reflect on what is in harmony and what is not. And that's why we shared the cleanse with you all this week, really, because if you do spend a few days, you don't have to do the whole week, but even just one day or 2 days, or ultimately minimum of 3 days doing this cleanse, you're going to get that clarity that will afford you the opportunity to see what is in balance already, and what it is that you can gently shift that will bring everything back into a more sustainable balance as we move forward into the next season. And I don't know if you forgot or if you said this and I missed it because it cut out, but I loved what you were saying just before, that really, what we're going to do on Friday at the equinox, and actually I'm really hoping to do this, is we're going to plant the seeds, and then the soil is just going to be on top, and we just want to just let the soil be there. And I was saying we should really make sure we do pull any weeds out. There probably won't be any weeds in that time, but we just need to go underground and be and germinate. And that's what we're going to do over this weekend. We're going to spend the weekend germinating, being cozy, feeling all the abundance from Friday, and then after Tuesday we can start to climb our way up through that soil and to peek our little heads out and see what the next season will bring.
Beautiful. Yeah, that's so good. That's lovely. And then yes, and then the new moon will be on Monday, and it will be a whole new moon cycle. And yes, so I did say at the beginning of the report, we are yet to announce, we need to release the new season of the moon circle dates. They will be coming out in the next day or two. And so that will include the moon circle that will be happening. I think we're doing it on Tuesday night, aren't we?
Yes, we are.
Yeah. So the new moon circle will be on Tuesday evening, and then the rest of the dates for the remainder of the year will go live in the next day or two, which is great.
Lovely. Perfect. Right. Well, that's lovely. It was a nice gathering this evening. We very much will be around this week, just sharing bits and bobs coming up to the equinox. If you have any questions, then please reach out. But as Leela already said, there's so many lovely rituals and things that you can do if you go and download the cleanse booklet that we put out, that you'll have lots to be getting on with. And hopefully we will be seeing some of you on Friday evening. We're super excited about that. It's going to be absolutely glorious. And some others of you over the weekend at the training. And the rest of you, we look forward to maybe seeing you on Tuesday night at our beautiful new moon circle, which will be a lovely celebration. So yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you, Sam, and thank you everyone for being here with us. It's so nice to spend this time with you, sending you so many blessings this week.
Yes, Satnam, much love. Bye-bye.
Satnam. Bye. Thank you for taking the time to be with us on this podcast episode. These are sound bites and conversations about things we think are important to support the collective ascension towards more love, acceptance, hope, and harmony on the planet Earth. Together we can continue to support each other through conversations that need to be held. If you've enjoyed this episode, please do share it with your people. We would love it if you subscribe to our channel and even rate the podcast if you feel called to. You can also find us and follow us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Spotify just by searching the 13 Moons Women's Temple.